Well, this is the week 11 lines, the early lines. And we'll take a look real quick and just see what we like and what we don't like for this upcoming week's contest and just our plays in general. Jets and Patriots, boy, no doubt this is a inflated number. But do you have the guts to take 11.5 with the Jets and hope that Justin Fields and company can get it done again? I mean, like I said, they needed 2 special team touchdowns to beat Cleveland. Now you're going up against the Patriots on a 7-game winning streak. Covered the spread as a road dog against Tampa. Short week, laying a big number. Obviously, the underdogs have been the side for most of it this year. I think the Chargers won as a favorite because we had them. That was the one time we used Thursday night. So I won't be using this in the contest. I can tell you that much. But I'd take the over in this game. I know Thursday night games, they always have these shitty game plans. This is just an ugly game, ugly line. You don't know what you're going to get from the Jets. Are they all jacked up from their win? Are the Patriots going to really put the pedal down again after the big win in Tampa? It was a physical game. Their defense looks good, though, for the Patriots. Yeah, this is just disgusting. I want nothing to do with that game. And now the Madrid game. I believe this is the last international game of the year. And we've got the Washington Commanders going up against the Miami Dolphins. Boy. I mean, the Dolphins obviously got that huge win. They ran the ball all over Buffalo. Buffalo just... Josh Allen does not look happy right now with how the offense is being run. Very weird. And, of course, it's the fishy -2.5 line. This Commanders defense is just not great. They did not look very good. But Detroit's a really good team. You know, everybody. But, you know, they ran the ball on them. What do the Dolphins want to do? They want to run. All right, at least that's what everybody's going to see. So, obviously, the Dolphins are probably the more popular side here after their big win. Do you fade them off the big win? Or do you take them and think they're going to keep it going? Let's see if anybody like McLaurin comes back for the Commanders. If Terry McLaurin's back in the back in the lineup, and I think the Dolphins are going to be the more popular side. If this line goes to 3, I would take the Commanders with the 3 points. I don't think the Dolphins are going to be able to repeat their performance. They just played out of their minds in that game. Now they got to go down to Madrid. I'm sure they were celebrating in South Beach. The Commanders looked really pissed off after getting their asses whooped by the Lions. If this gets up to 3, which I believe it will, give me the Commanders plus the 3, and I'll take the under in this game. I think it's not going to be nearly as high scoring. Both of these teams are going to be... It's in Spain. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way you're going to be playing at your peak performance. So, give me the Commanders when this line hits 3. And I'll take the under 47.5. I prefer the under to the spread, that's for sure. Steelers and the Bengals. Bengals defense can't stop shit. Steelers offense couldn't do anything against the Chargers. The Chargers defense is really good. The Bengals defense is not good. But this number is just, I don't know, 5.5. Didn't the Bengals just beat up on the Steelers a couple weeks ago when Joe Flacco's first game? Yeah, they won that game. Give me the Steelers. If it gets to 4.5, if it's actually 4.5, not 5.5, it is showing a 4.5 here, although there's more 5.5s. And yeah, it looks like it's maybe. Yeah, the Steelers ran into a really good defense in the Chargers. I mean, their defense didn't really give up that much to the Chargers until later on in that game when they'd been on the field for a lot. And I think they've got revenge on their mind. This is a Tomlin game here. I know this feels like a big number in a division rivalry, but that's the point. They're going to be able to score on this Bengals porous defense. And I just don't know what. I mean, I know the Bengals are like talking about Joe Burrow coming back around Thanksgiving. So if they can just maybe squeak out a win or two, especially in this game, and knock the Steelers down a peg with the Ravens, obviously starting off poorly and now getting back into the groove, but their record is bad. I believe they're 4-5. And then obviously Cleveland ain't doing shit this year. So yeah, this is a huge game for Cincinnati, but I don't know, man. I don't think their defense has got it in them to stop the Steelers team. We're going to have to look into the injury reports for both of these teams. But I think laying the 4.5 with the Steelers is the right side here. The Steelers will create a couple of turnovers, which will be the difference in this game, and Rodgers will actually be able to complete some passes. Things he couldn't get done against that stiff Chargers defense. That's not who they're facing. They're going to be able to move the ball on this Cincinnati team. 49.5. I'd take the under. It's a lot of points for that game. They're obviously not expecting too much defense. Ugh. Panthers at the Falcons. This is a rematch of the 30-0 shutout that the Panthers put on them earlier in the year in Carolina. And now they are 3.5-point road dogs. This team shut this team out. Carolina shut out the Falcons in 30-0 at home. And they were the underdog in that game. And now they're the underdog again on the road, plus 3.5. I don't know what to make of this. Michael Penix, oh my God, 0 for 8 on third downs, dude. Come on. Really? I don't think they've converted a third down in like 2 weeks. Seriously. I'll have to go back and look at the week 9 game, but I don't think they converted any third downs. That's just fucking unacceptable. Especially when the Falcons signed Kirk Cousins to that big-ass contract and got him sitting over there on the bench. It's like, dude, you got to do something with the guy. At some point you have to tell Penix, look, this ain't your day. You're just not feeling it. We're going to bring Kirk in and see if we can win this game. Nope. They completely squander it and lose the game outright in overtime. All that said, the Falcons are going to win and cover this game, and that's the point. They're making it plus 3.5 for a reason. They want you to take the points with Carolina because of the 30-0 shutout and the fact that Atlanta lost to Indy in overtime. But Indianapolis is actually a really good team. And yes, Jonathan Taylor had some big gains in that one. But I don't know. The Panthers have been able to run the ball, but their offensive line is still banged up. That's why part of the reason why we faded them last week. If they don't get those guys back, they're going to be in for trouble. And this Falcons team can run the ball. The Panthers defense has not been very good. There's no way you could have a worse game when it comes to completing passes than Penix did. And they didn't take the bye after the international game. So I think the Broncos were the only other team this year that played the following week after going overseas, and they won that game. So maybe keeping it instead of having the bye week after that loss and having to go and sulk and and try to forget about everything. You're back in the facilities with the coach up your ass, pointing out all the things you did wrong and telling you what you need to do to help this team win. Yeah, I think Atlanta's going to be the right side here. We might be... Uh-oh. We lost the camera. What happened? Oh, there it goes. Something was coming through on the camera. It was making it go blurry. But yeah, I don't know. Atlanta might make the card again. I mean, we're 4-1. 4-1 backing the Falcons this year against the spread in the Circa Million Contest. I've never used Atlanta more than once in a contest. I don't since the early beginnings. Maybe in the beginnings I might have used them 2 times, but I almost never use them in the contest simply because I like to leave my personal feelings out of it. I don't want my biases to get in the way, even though it's happened several times, like when they played Miami and I knew they were going to get their asses kicked. But I won't fade them. I'll go with them if I think they can cover, and I think they might be able to cover this game. You're going to get a good performance from Penix, I think. He won't be nearly as inaccurate as he was. I don't know if maybe going overseas and all the bullshit that goes along with all that PR stuff you got to do maybe had him off his game. We'll see. He's at home, friendly confines of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, so the bird's nest. The crowd will be on his side. They'll be rocking. They're going to want to go up against a division rival, so it's a good spot for the Falcons to get right and maybe turn their season around. The Bucs are starting to run away with the NFC South. Thankfully, they lost last week. I mean, we were on them. I would have preferred that they won and covered the spread, but the fact that they didn't win without covering, which could have potentially happened. They were lost by, 5? Had they scored the touchdown and not made the 2-point conversion, they would have won by 1 point and we would have got fucked because it was minus 2.5. So the fact that they didn't win, they lost outright. Fuck them. At least it's something good for my team. And look at this total. 42.5. They are not expecting a lot of points. I take the over, though. I think that's wrong. I think Atlanta's going to look to score. They're going to look to try to open it up against this Panthers mediocre defense. Texans and Titans. Blech. Titans off the bye. Texans off that tremendous come-from-behind win. Getting it done as 1.5-point home dogs. Now they are road favorites of minus 7.5. Will it be C.J. Stroud or will it be Davis Mills? I'm sure Stroud should be back from that concussion. Unless it was really serious, he should be able to play. Davis Mills didn't do much for 3 quarters, and the defense really kept them in that game and allowed them that opportunity to make that comeback. I don't think they should be 7.5-point favorites, but this Titans offense and this Titans team in general has just been horrendous at covering spreads. Of course, they covered against the Chargers when we had them minus 8.5, and they lost by 7 after kicking a garbage time field goal and scoring 2 non-offensive touchdowns. But it feels like the Titans are the right side here. I've said it earlier in the year. I think the Titans have more ATS wins than straight-up wins. They're always going to be inflated because the books know that the public opinion of the Titans is that they're a really bad team. But their defense isn't that bad. And they've got some playmakers on offense. It's all about protecting Cam Ward. But, boy, can the Texans get after the quarterback. They lost some guys, though, to injury, so we're going to have to take a look at that. But, I mean, between Danielle Hunter and I can't think of his name right now. The other guy's not Stingley. I can't think of his name. And I can picture him too. But the other defensive end, they can really get after the quarterback, man. And Rankins, he made a great play. So this is a tough one. Right? And what's the harder decision? To take 7.5 with the Titans or to lay 7.5 with the Texans? Right? Certainly feels like laying 7.5 with the Texans is the harder decision to make. We'll have to look more into this one. It just seems like it's inflated because of the perception of the Titans and the Texans with that big come-from-behind win. Their offense was stagnant, though. Only 39.5. There are some low totals this week. Low totals. 43.5, 42.5, 39.5. And now we move to the next game. Packers at the Giants. Packers with that sorry ass performance on Monday night tonight. I mean, too many penalties, man, by both teams, man. It's just you can't win like that. You just don't know what you're going to get from the Packers. Now they're going up against the Giants. Is Jackson Dart going to play? They just fired their head coach, so it's going to be an interim head coach. Do you get the interim coach bump? I mean, look at this number, 8.5 to 7.5. Oh, this is another ugly spread. Everybody's going to say, take the points with the Giants. The Packers have been shit, blah, blah, blah. And they're probably right. If it's 8.5, I'd probably take the Giants. But it's going to depend on who's playing for New York and what the injury report looks like for the Packers after tonight's game. Another low total, 44.5. This has backdoor over written all over it. That garbage time touchdown by fucking Russell Wilson or some shit. He had an opportunity to score in that game to get him the win and couldn't do it, though. I don't know about this game. I would take the over 44.5, but man, what an ugly spread. Bears at the Vikings, NFC North matchup. Bears on a heater right now. Ben Johnson's got this team believing in themselves. Caleb Williams is pulling shit out of his ass with these Houdini plays. And then J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings, I mean, they struggled against Baltimore. Baltimore's offense opened it up. It was just a difficult game all the way around, but he's not playing horrendous. And they got great playmakers on the Vikings. I mean, if they can just get these guys the ball. And they're home dogs of -3. Let's call it -3. This feels right. This feels like this is a 3-point game. I'd probably take the 3 with the Bears. It's going to be a tough environment, and I think maybe the Bears stumble here. They've been so fortunate these last couple of weeks. If they can't get any pass rush on J.J. McCarthy, maybe they're able to score here. No, give me the Vikings. I would prefer this at -2.5, though. I feel like 3, it's probably going to be a 3-point game. So I would take the 3 with the Bears. But if it goes to 2.5, -2.5 in Minnesota's favor, I'll probably be looking at the Vikings. It's -3.5 though, so let's see how the betting action goes. 48 to 48.5, 47.5. Opened up at 45.5. Yeah, this feels like an under, barely under. Like 27-21 under. Yeah, don't get it. If you're going to bet the under, make sure you get the 48.5 or better. 48 to 47.5, you might be disappointed. I wouldn't take it anything under 48.5. It really does feel like a 27-21 game. 27-20, something like that. Very close. 26-20. Buccaneers and Bills. Bucks, big loss at home. Bills, big loss on the road. I wonder if they're staying in Florida, if they're flying back to Buffalo and then back down to Florida again. It would make sense to. I mean, it's not like it's that far. I mean, not that long of a flight. They're flying private, so they probably went home. They'll fly back to Tampa. 5.5 points, though. Interesting number. Let's see who the Bucks get back from injury. Will Godwin and Bucky Irvin be playing this week? Looks like the Bills might have lost some guys to injury during that Miami game, so we're going to have to take a look at that one, particularly on their defense and their secondary. But give me the points with the Bucks. It's going to be a close game. This is a 3 to 4 point game. This line feels inflated. I know the Bills, though, they're probably... As of now, take the Bucks, but we'll see how that goes. And then look at the total, 49.5. So they're expecting a shootout. you can get it at 49 to even 48.5, I would take the over. Chargers at the Jags. Chargers are playing really well, but what's up with their offensive line? And the Jags, big loss, disappointing loss. I mean, they just squandered that lead, allowing them to come back, allowing Houston to come back in that game. That's who the Jags are, though. They are an incomplete team. I like the Chargers in this one, but I think it's going to be very popular. We'll have to look more into it, but I'm laying the 2.5, even if it's juiced. Give me minus 2.5 with the Chargers. Better quarterback, better coach, better defense. Yeah. Give me the under 44. And it opened at 46, so it's moved down 2.5 points already. Seahawks and Rams, the game of the week. I'm so disappointed in myself that I swapped out the Seahawks, man. I knew they were a much better team than Arizona. Now they're getting 2.5 to 3 points on the road against the Rams. I know the Rams have looked like world beaters, but I don't think they've faced a defense as good as the Seahawks. And a lot of people watched that game against the 49ers, but again, the 49ers defense could not get pressure on the quarterback. What can the Seahawks do? They can get pressure with 4. Leonard Williams is a beast, man. I don't know why this guy isn't getting talked about for Defensive Player of the Year. But he is the key to their defensive front getting pressure. I think they're going to fluster Matthew Stafford. Give me the points with the Seahawks in this one. I like the Seahawks. I just think they're a much better defense. Sam Darnold is playing lights out right now. Bashir Shaheed adds an extra element to their offense. Their running game is good. Their offensive line has been good. Turnovers by Darnold are concerning me. He's gotten real loose with the ball the last couple weeks. But, the defense playing lights out has allowed them to overcome them. But you can't give this LA Rams team short fields because they will make you pay. Nakua and Adams are a formidable 1-2 punch, and their running game is lights out. Fishy minus 2.5 line, though. So give me the points with the Seahawks. And give me the under. Give me the under. 25-17. 49ers and Cardinals. Are the 49ers going to ever get Brock Purdy and Pearsall back? Are these guys going to ever play? And who the hell is playing on their defense? And then as far as Arizona is concerned, they didn't play horrible. If it wasn't for those 2 fumbles returned for touchdowns. I mean, it's one thing to fumble the ball. It's another thing for the same guy, to pick both balls up and run them in for touchdowns. I mean, it was just devastating. Now they're getting 3 points at home. I take the Cardinals and the points at home. I just don't think the pass rush for the 49ers is going to do anything even remotely close to what Seattle did. And we've seen that when Brissett actually has time to sit back there and throw, he was getting the ball to his guys. I mean, they were trying to make a comeback in that game, and the defense played well, and they were without 3 of their starting corners in that game and their starting linebacker. So are any of those guys going to be back? Sean Murphy-Bunting won't be back. I think he's on IR. But the other 2 cornerbacks and the middle linebacker could potentially play this week. That's a huge boost to their defense, which isn't playing badly. I'm taking, if it's +3, I'm taking +3 with with the Cardinals at home. And take the under. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. But let's see who's playing for the 49ers, particularly on offense. Ravens and Browns. Ravens off that big win. Browns off that disappointing loss with the 2 kick return touchdowns being the difference. Now they're getting 8.5 points at home against the Ravens. You know, Ravens defense hasn't been that good. It's just their offense is hiding the warts. Meanwhile, Dylan Gabriel, he is a rookie, but he's progressing. You know, he's going to make rookie mistakes. That's obvious. Big number, too. I don't like this at all. I hate laying big numbers with the Ravens because too many times they squander big leads late in the game. This has backdoor cover written all over it. Give me the Browns plus the 8.5. With such a low total, I just don't know how you don't take the points in this game. Unless this is also a red herring. The total's a red herring to throw you off the scent that the Ravens are the side, but I don't think so. If it's 8.5, give me the Browns. They know each other well. The defense usually can contain Lamar Jackson from being able to get the explosive runs. And their defensive front has kind of held Henry in check at some time. So, yeah. Give me the Browns plus the points. I don't want anything to do with the total, though. It's just such a low total. Chiefs and Broncos. I mean, I know the Seattle Rams game is a big one, but this is a big one too. And that's also in the late window. So another hopefully good set of games in the late window. Chiefs and Broncos. This is a battle with the Chargers for the AFC West. I mean, these 3 teams right now are in a dogfight with each other. The Chiefs are the low man on the totem pole. But now they're laying 3.5, going to Mile High. And I originally I had my 5 that I looked at yesterday, and they're in it. I said the Chiefs minus 2.5. It's already gone up to 3.5. The 6 games I clicked on early yesterday when I was looking at the original opening lines was Minnesota minus 2.5, Dallas minus 3.5, KC minus 2.5. I had San Francisco minus 1, but I think I'm going to change. Depends. We'll have to see what the injuries are. Seattle, as I said, and then the Chargers minus 1. But this game here, man, I don't know where this line's going to stop. The Broncos are one of the best teams in the fourth quarter, but they've also been incredibly lucky against some less than stellar competition. Now they're going up against the Chiefs off their bye, off that loss. Yeah, I like Kansas City in this spot here. I like Andy Reid off the bye. He's always really good. He's always got a good game plan going, and I think it's time for Bo Nix to fall back to earth. They can't keep getting this lucky every week. It's the reason why this number's where it is. They want you to take the Broncos in the points, but I'm not falling for it. Give me Kansas City minus 3. This might make the card, depending on where it ends, where the line ends up for the contest. But I would bet minus 3.5. I wouldn't go much higher than that, though. Lions and Eagles. So we do have some good games this week. That's the Sunday night game. Obviously, hopefully this is a much better performance than what we've seen in the last couple of primetime games. Only a 1 to 1.5 point spread. Eagles look like they may have lost a couple guys in this game, though. A couple of their offensive linemen got carted out to see where they are. Looks like the Lions lost some of their secondary guys. Again, they're thin on the defensive side of the ball. So this is a injury report game for sure. I don't know if we'll have anything to do with it in the contest. Everybody's probably going to want to go with the Lions because they've just been a cash register. They cover every week. So I could understand completely why they would be popular side here. The Eagles looked pedestrian in their game tonight, and they've been one of the more lucky teams, inconsistent teams. They haven't really put together a full 4-quarter game where they've dominated. This is just, I don't think I didn't put anything about that on there. This is a tough one. I would take the under 49, though. I think the defenses will do enough to maybe keep them out of the end zone. Gonna have to kick a couple field goals. That'll be the difference in the total. So try to get it maybe 9. If you can find it at 9.5, take the under for sure. But as far as the side goes, it's hard not to take the Lions here. I mean, for me, it's Detroit or nothing. I know they're on the road outdoors, but if there's no inclement weather, Goff should be good. And then the final game is the Cowboys at the Raiders. That's our Monday night game. Real fucking snooze fest there. Two teams that are essentially out of it. I mean, the Eagles are running away with the NFC East, and the Raiders have no shot at winning the AFC West. So I don't think either team will make a wild card spot because there's just too many other good teams that are gonna gobble up those 4 spot or 3 spots. I don't know how the Cowboys would have to go on a hell of a winning streak, and they lost to Arizona on Monday Night Football 2 weeks ago. They're coming off the bye now. That's why I took them though -3.5. The Raiders have just so inconsistent. I don't think their offense can do anything against this Cowboys defense. As bad as this Cowboys defense has been, I don't know if the Raiders are going to be able to do much. They ain't done shit. They've had like 1 or 2 decent games, but Geno Smith looks horrible. The offensive line can't block. Gentry's getting creamed in the backfield before he even gets the ball. And then you've got the Cowboys who struggled against Arizona, but again, Arizona's a better team than people are giving them credit for. And their offense didn't look great, but we've seen how many points they can put up. The Raiders defense has no secondary. They got no answers for CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. I think they're going to be hot after losing in primetime, and they're coming back. They're playing again in primetime. They're not want to be embarrassed 2 times in a row in front of the entire nation, in front of the entire NFL nation. So I'm willing to lay the 3.5 with Dallas. That might also make the card. We'll see where this line ends up on Thursday when Circa releases the numbers. But as I said, as of right now, I like Minnesota, Dallas, Kansas City, San Francisco, Seattle, and the Chargers. Those are the 6 teams I'm really looking hard at. And we'll have to do a little bit more deeper in-depth evaluation to determine where we'll be. And then obviously we've got the Thursday night watch party right here on YouTube, Dead Money Sports, where we will, I don't know, we've got the Jets and the Patriots. I don't know. We'll do the line release show and at least get a better understanding of where we're at. I don't know if I'm going to do the entire live stream for that game. That's just, I have no interest in watching that game, and I'm sure most of you have no interest in watching me live stream about that game. So there you have it. Those are the Week 11 lines. This is my early predictions for Week 11. Be sure to join me on Thursday, as I said, for the lines release show. We'll be live at 5:15 on Thursday, and then join me on Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific for the selections release show and my 5 picks, the NFL contest show, right here on Dead Money Sports. Well, that's the end of the show, folks. And I hope you made some money this weekend. I know we went 3-2, but we've got to do better than that moving forward. Good luck to everyone, and take care of yourselves out there.